And here we are once again with another amazing episode of Agents in the Trenches, the real life struggles of real estate agents today in this new market. Hey guys, I'm so excited to come once again to this conversation. And today, not only do I have my co-host, my running partner, Talia. Good morning, Talia. How you doing?
Good morning. I'm good. How are you?
Good. But we also have someone that is joining us this morning. Tell us who it is.
Yes, so it's Marissa Gonzalez. She wears so many hats, but she's such an incredible person. She is a credit restoration specialist. She does solar. I mean, she does it all. And I would rather her introduce herself. Tell us a little bit about you, Marissa, so like that our audience can get to know you and love you as much as we do.
Aw, thank you guys. Good morning, good afternoon, evening, whenever you guys might be watching this. It's really an honor to be here with you both. We connected just a short time ago, but that keyword is connected. We many different levels on our passion for the community, on our passion being able to help other individuals kind of get out, some struggling situations. So I'm grateful to have you guys in my life, personally and professionally, right? Because we're in the people business, so it's about building relationships as well. So I have been in Southwest Florida since 2004. I officially started entrepreneurship journey last year. Started my business 2 years ago, but decided it was time to just give it my all a year ago. And it has been a crazy ride, but I wouldn't change any piece of it.
That's super excited. And there's something that you do that is a common denominator with what Talia and I do, right? I've been doing it since the year 2000, and you've been doing it for, not as long, but you have really penetrated the real estate industry with a lot of your amazing, business mindsets, creative thought capacities that you have. And that common denominator is you serve the real estate industry from a different angle, from a different perspective. So this morning, I wanted to kind of open up the conversation and say, okay, share with us when you're out there in the trenches, right? Because I know you do a lot of things to service and work with real estate agents. When you're out there in the trenches, what are these conversations that you hear the agents are having? Because everyone has a different perspective. What are some of their struggles? What are some of their pain points? And what does that conversation sound like?
Yeah, absolutely. And I've been doing this for the last 2 years. I've come across individuals who have been in real estate for 5 years, so I learn a lot from them. And then I have individuals who have been in for about a year, and I'm able to kind of teach them some of the things that I mean. But one of the biggest common denominators, I would say, recently, even just anyone who is in the Southwest Florida or Florida market is no stranger to Hurricane Ian. And one thing that I'm hearing a lot of is individuals went from maybe closing 2-3 deals a month to now haven't sold anything at all in this past year. And they're really looking for opportunities that make sense and blend in line with real estate, but are still able to get some income until maybe a buyer qualifies to purchase a home, or maybe they're able to figure out another avenue within real estate that can help get them a place of being able to make a sale.
And that's, when you talk about people so far this year not being able to have a closing, that's really painful. It's painful because, when you're in real estate, you live off of 100% commissions. A lot of times it's tough enough as it is, during a good, abundant market to make ends meet, right? And so now feeling the pain of not having those closings, what is the perspective the agents have? What do they think is going to happen? How are they going to overcome this huge challenge?
Yeah. So in some of the conversations I've been having, some have chosen to seek out like a part-time, full-time job just to kind of help in the interim to get some type of steady income while they still continue to work on their real estate business. And others are like, 9 to 5 isn't enough for me. This is all I have. So I'm going to rearrange, figure out my schedule and figure out what it is that I need to do to make sure that I'm getting out there to get in front of more individuals. So whether it's pounding the pavement, whether it's attending more events, attending more trainings, I've had some realtors tell me, I've traveled outside of Southwest Florida just to attend different events and different trainings, so like that I can still network with people, because you never know who in the Fort Lauderdale market or the Miami market might have a seller or a buyer interested in purchasing in Southwest Florida, and that realtor is not familiar with the area, so I'm able to assist them. So there's a couple different perspectives there.
What do you think about that, Talia? I mean, we're seeing it, we are in the trenches ourselves and we are seeing it, but we're doing the things that need to get done in order to maintain and sustain the productivity and the business flow, because that's a challenge right now.
Yeah, so touching on the training perspective and the lack of it around here, I feel like it's huge, because just recently I was talking to a real estate agent that she transitioned to a new brokerage, and when I asked her, okay, what kind of training are you getting? What are they're giving you leads? How are they showing you how to cultivate and capture and close on them? And so she had mentioned that the kind of trainings that she's been getting for this kind of for handling the leads, right, is all online. So they were all online. So they were either pre-recorded from the, previous, few months ago or something like that. And they're just touching on the same subject. So they're all pre-recorded, what she was mentioning. And that when there is, something that was live, it was like once a month towards the end of the month. And that was it. So that was something that's specific to that, that person's experience. So I think it's true. I don't think there's enough training here locally that invites all agents, that from different brands, different brokerages. So that's a very, very important thing when you're in the industry, is learning and continuing to learn. And if there's not enough resources out there, I think that can also result in, like Marissa was saying, agents just struggling with closing deals.
What are your thoughts, Marissa?
She kind of hit it right on the head, because I've had individuals who are, because, there's so many different brokerages, right? You think of all of these different entities within real estate. And I've had individuals, like, I've been told, like, if it's not somebody within this one, don't attend. If it's not a brand within ours, don't go. And I'm like, that's such a small-minded thinking, because you can learn from anyone. We have to come from a place of abundance. So I think it's really important that, when you're out there seeking opportunities, or when you're out there seeking new brokerages, because I've heard, the same thing. One girl told me that she just felt like she wasn't getting a lot of support from the person who brought her into the brokerage that she was with. So she chose to move to another. And I said, have you fully made that decision? And she said, not yet, but we've been in conversation. I said, well, it's important for you to interview, if you will, the person that's connected to the brokerage that you're thinking of going to, because we, for the most part, know what our learning styles are. So you need to find out, it doesn't all sound pretty. You need to make sure it looks pretty too, right? What are they providing you from the training perspective? How are they supporting you? Are they giving you lead, going out in the field with you? Are they pounding the pavement with you? What kind of support are they giving you, or what kind of support are they offering? And is that the support that you best need based off of your learning style?
And that is so true, Marissa. And I love the fact that you touch on that point about the limiting mindsets. For 23 years, for 20 years, I was part of the frenemy world. Where you were part of a brand, but the people that were also part of your brand were not your friends. If anything, they were frenemies. It was like, those family gatherings where the second and third generation cousins, you're part of the same family tree, but, you just know, you feel the distance. And after making a switch into a totally different platform, because number one, I wanted to go international and I needed and wanted the freedom. And I've been preaching international for many, many years. And right now, let me tell you, any agent that is struggling, you need to expand. We don't have a problem in the real estate industry, because I can tell you from experience, and right now, there are houses selling. There are people putting their houses on the market. There's a lot of people that are closing deals, whether they're on wheels or on heels. There's people closing deals. There's people like us that are capturing listings and providing opportunities for other real estate agents to come and help us host our open houses, and doing open houses with real estate practitioners as yourself, because you're a practitioner within the industry, even though you serve a different component of the industry. So we don't have, and I know this is going to sound like, but Lucy, you just don't get it. Listen, this is not my first rodeo. You haven't seen bad until you lived 2008, where it was literally no bank was giving any money, not at 6, not at 7, not at 12%. It was no money. Where the city was shut down on permitting, there was no permittings. We went from over 3,000 construction permits per month to 0. Okay, and this did not happen for a hurricane season. This happened for months and months and months. And then you had the collapse of the financial industry, where literally people were losing absolutely everything because the stock market crashed. I knew about local real estate practitioners that could not bear the loss of their whole empire and literally committed suicide. And I mean, it was horrific. And every day you would drive up and down, Del Prado, you would drive up and down US 41, and it was the real estate company that was there yesterday was no longer there. It was closed for business. So I have, the authority and the experience to be able to say, we don't have a business market. We don't have a business market problem. We don't have a problem in the real estate market. Our problem is the real estate agents did not learn how to navigate this new market ahead of time. So now they're caught in the tidal wave and they don't know how to swim. Because for the last 5 years, it's been real estate on Easy Street. Everybody and their mother could buy a house. The government was giving away money. People were selling their houses for highest and best. It was hands over fist. Even the top producers could not keep houses on the shelf long enough before they were inundated with 3, 4, 5, 10 contracts, and they could literally cherry pick who's going to get to buy this house, right, at the highest price. That's not the same industry we're in right now. That's not the same market we're in right now. So it's going to take a lot of skill sets. It's going to take a lot of hard labor. It's going to take becoming a lion and getting out there and hunting, just like a hungry lion. When does a hungry lion stop hunting? When they eat. If you have not eaten, you need to be out there day in, day out. And here's what's killing most of our real estate agents. They are not part of winning circles. They are not surrounding themselves with the leaders that know how to win, or that will take the time to invest in them and teach them how. Listen, we're only as good as the people that surround us. I'm only as good as the people that surround me. If I surround myself with people that are, midget-minded, not team players, that don't have an open spirit to give and collaborate, that are not willing to share creative insights and thoughts, then I'm going to my lights are going to get turned off, because I'm not even, I have overhead, that has to get paid, So I really believe it's more of a skill set problem. It's a mindset problem. It's a winning circle problem. It's you're in the wrong circle problem. It's you need to break out of that box you're in and that comfort zone, and you need to get out in the streets. You need to get out in the field. You need to go door knocking. You need to be in front of people. You need to send out the right message, become the right messenger, that people will hear you until they either block you or join you.
Yeah. And I think you bring up so many good you bring up so many good points. And you know, one thing that I think about is something that we hear on my side a lot of the times is don't be a secret agent, right? So if you're not putting yourself in spaces to be in front of other individuals, to be around, you know, potential prospects or other people that are in the business, you know, you're not gonna be known. You didn't put enough work into it. Sometimes we think that, oh, I'm just going to put this social media post or my family and friends are going to support. And it's not that simple. We have to literally put ourselves out there and live and breathe what it is that we're doing. Because from what I've learned, and even from a sales perspective, it takes 7 to 10 touches before someone even chooses to purchase a product. So when you consider somebody dealing with the largest transaction of their lives, which is purchasing a home, they're going to need time to get to know you. They're going to need time to like you. They're going to need time to get to trust you. So you have to make sure that you are constantly in front of not only the individual that is potentially a prospect, but working alongside other individuals in the space, because you just never know what information you're going to pick up that you were missing. That was that moment that's like, okay, this is what I needed to help take me to that next level.
And you hit on a really good point. You know, this market requires massive action. And I dare to say most real estate agents, even some team leaders and probably brokers, don't understand what massive action is really about. It's not being busy, it's being productive. What are your IPAs? What are your daily IPAs? What are you doing every day consistently? Like a well-oiled machine. But I don't feel like it, it don't matter. But I don't want to, it don't matter. But I'm not ready, it don't matter. But today's not a good day for me, it don't matter. You know, this market takes a lot of resilience. So I dare to say that real estate agents don't have a market problem, because the market is still doing business. Talia, I don't know if you know the numbers for today, but I could dare to say off the top of my head, we have to have had over 500 transactions in the Cape Coral, Fort Myers, and Lehigh area in the last 7 days. I would dare to say we've had over 500 transactions. Now, mind you, this is something real estate agents need to get up in the morning and look at those numbers like they're reading TikTok. That's what real estate agents need to be doing. They need to know their market stats like they know TikTok, IG, and all that other stuff, right? It's a mindset problem. It's a skill set problem. It's I'm in the wrong circle problem. It's I'm stuck at home where we are not productive. Listen, it's very simple. I bring you back to basics. I'm gonna give you the 1, 2, 3s and the ABCs of blowing it out of the water. You get up, you shower, get dressed, and show up in the office. That's it. There's no secret. Look at Grant Cardone. He could work from anywhere on the planet, but he's got his headquarters in Miami. Look at Coach Stormy Wellington. I mean, powerful African-American entrepreneur. You know, she works from anywhere, right? She's into multi-level marketing. She can work from anywhere. Go look her up. I mean, the woman has broken all the standards of where she comes from, right? And she's got her headquarters in Aventura, Florida. She's got her headquarters, her office. So we all need a headquarters. I'm telling you right now, your house, your kitchen table, your kitchen counter, your bedroom. Listen, you walk in your bedroom, your brain's telling you, oh, let's take a nap. It's cloudy out. We should just take a quick nap. By the time you do that, right? You don't want to get on the phone and do anything. So it's our environment problem. It's our conversation problem. What conversations are you having? Where are the winning conversations? Talk to me about winning conversations. Talk to me about the conversations about, listen, where there's a will, there's a way. Let's huddle up, let's buckle up, and let's show up. We can do this. Let's go together. You know, together we're stronger. Together we're better. Let's sit down and huddle and cuddle, but let's come out with a strategy. We're in it to win it. Come on, guys. We're in it to win it. Let's go. Are those the conversations that people are having, or they're having depressive, low vibe conversations? You know, I'm telling you, that is where we're losing the battle, is in those things. I believe it.
So I want to touch on something that you said about, the environment. And this is something that, I think Marissa is amazing at. She's always putting herself in different rooms, talking to different people. I think every day, I don't know, maybe Marissa can shine some light on this, but I feel like every day, she's like going to 2 or 3 events. And I'm like, girl, like that's what's up. That is, it's really awesome to see that. And I would love for Marissa to touch a little bit on that, right? Where are you finding how to, these events, these networking events? Because I think that can help a lot of people when it comes to putting themselves in, winning environments, winning circles, and just getting out there and putting themselves out there.
Yeah. So before I actually touch on that, I want to touch on something that Lucy said, because she touched on Stormy Wellington, and I actually attended a GoPro event virtual by the Warriors. If you don't know them, look them up. They do amazing trainings. But in one of the trainings that I watched, not only was Stormy Wellington there, Lisa Nichols was there. And she shared a piece of her story. And this is going to maybe hurt some feelings right now, and it's not intended for that. But one of the things that she was told that she would never be a public speaker. And she ended up getting like this job at just like a call center kind of thing. And the boss of that environment fired her because they said, this is not what you're meant to be doing. Like, we want you to go find what works for you, but this isn't it. And then years later, now here she is sharing her story, a public speaker, and that person ended up in the audience and they were just crying the whole time because they were the ones that said, go find yourself. And I think sometimes people hear real estate dollar signs. And while, yes, it is a business that is very lucrative, you can make a great amount of money from it, but it's not always about the money. Like, you have to find something that falls in line with who you are as a person, what speaks to your heart, what speaks to your mind. And that may not be real estate, but that's a realization that some people have to be able to accept for themselves. But in the same token, make sure that you're putting the work in and make sure that you're doing what you have to do to make it successful, because it is a lot of work. As entrepreneurs, it's a lot of work. Real estate is entrepreneurship. And unfortunately, a lot of people get discouraged, that we like to say, right? They get discouraged and it's like, oh, well, I tried that for a week and it didn't work. No, you need to try that for 30 to 60 days. Give it time for implementation to really track and see, did this get me a type of result that I was looking for? And I think so often, especially you're struggling and you're hungry for, I just need that paycheck because now I'm commission to commission. Sometimes we don't give things enough time to see how they work. So that's kind of what I wanted to touch on in regards to what Lucy was saying. To answer your question in regards to events, yes, I am a big event girl. So if you guys are familiar with like the personality types, I'm a high I, I'm an ID. So I'm very personable. I'm a social butterfly. I like to be in crowds. I like to be around people. I like my me time, but I thrive in environments that allow me to just connect with other people. And I think it's important for when you're a business owner, you have to put yourself out there. Real estate agents, hopefully this isn't a surprise to you, but you are a business owner. You are an individual representative, and you own your own real estate company. And you are the person that is representing your company. So how do you want to be represented? So when it comes to putting yourself in different spaces, I actually have one realtor who I commend because she's like, I am so quiet. I am so introverted. And we actually had a one-on-one lunch meeting the other day. And I texted her that same morning and I said, hey, there's this networking event. We're going to go to it, to our one-on-one lunch. It's just like, okay. She came and, they do like the round table where you have to introduce yourself. And she was super nervous, but she did it. And that's the thing, you're not willing to put yourself in uncomfortable situations because that's how you're going to grow through this industry. But it's connecting to people who are also willing to help guide you and help you thrive. But to answer the question, where do I find on? So one of the things that I do is, I live by my calendar. If it's not in my calendar, it doesn't exist for me. So I blocked in my calendar every Sunday night to look on Eventbrite, to look on Facebook events, and I just kind of see what's going on in the area. Some events are free, some events you have to pay for. So, I kind of just determined like, okay, let me look at what's happening this day based off of my schedule. What do I have time to attend? So you don't have to always feel like you have to invest money into these events. They have tons of free events. Look at your local chamber of commerce. If you're someone who's not comfortable with like public speaking, check out a Toastmasters. You can meet other individuals there. There's different hubs here for like business, like open workspaces. So, I mean, there's tons of places you can meet people. I mean, even me, when I go to restaurants, I'll tell the person, or I'll put a little note, or I'll leave my business card, or I'll make sure I have some type of conversation with them, letting them know what I do, because you just never know who needs the information, or who needs, a realtor, who had a friend yesterday saying, hey girl, do you know a realtor? I need to find a new apartment or a new house or whatever. So you just have to make sure at the end of the day, don't be a secret agent.
Yes. One of Lucy's famous sayings is, you have to find the people and talk to the people, so in this industry, and then, and regardless, like you're saying, as a business owner, the more people you talk to, the more opportunities that you can make and put together. So, I definitely, whoever this realtor is that is an introvert, so proud, because I've also been in that situation. I told you when we met at the open houses that, I am naturally an introvert, and I have to constantly push myself, to go out, put myself out there, talk to more people and stuff like that. So I understand, I've been there, and every day is like a learning process, right? You just have to do it. So, and then before we wrap this up real quickly, I want to also say that you're doing something incredible in the real estate industry, and you are helping realtors out with their open houses by sponsorship. I want to touch on that. So like that, and if anyone is looking for sponsors for their open houses, Marissa's the person to talk to. She has put something together that's helping a lot of people out, especially myself. So I'm so happy, and I'm so proud that you're doing this. Now I want you to touch on that real quickly before we wrap it up on what it is that you're doing for realtors.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm very innovative. I come up with a lot of ideas. And I'm really big on just supporting people, supporting small businesses, supporting my community is really what it's about. I've worked in a community resource connecting space for over 10 years. So it comes very natural to me to just want to include our community and our local business owners. So I said, okay, Marissa, you want to work with real estate professionals, and what is something that they're constantly doing? And I was always seeing open houses on my timeline. And I said, okay, how can you use this to not only help them, help you, but help your community, right? So I decided to do open house sponsorships, which I've never heard of before, but I just started thinking, right? Because you have to be innovative in your business. If there's something that doesn't exist, be the one to create it. And again, give it time to see if it works. So I decided to put together what I call open house sponsorships. And I basically come in, and because I am that social butterfly, it's easy for me to get on a live and just start talking to people. When I was younger, they told me I should have had my own talk show host, but that's a whole nother story. But so I said, how can I leverage the skills that I have to help other people, right? And so I said, getting open house information in front of a wider network. I know I've got, I think it's 4.3 followers on my Facebook alone. So I'm like, okay, this is an opportunity to get an open house in front of a new market for a realtor. I said, but how do I expand on this? And I'm like, well, you always hear the cliche about, oh, make sure you have fresh baked cookies so it smells like fresh baked cookies. I said, okay, let me bring in a local baker. So I found a local baker, Vivi's Baked Goods. She is amazing. Anytime I tell her, I'm just like, girl, I'm going to get you a 48-hour notice. And she's like, okay, that works great. So I'm able to, I've been able to partner with her. She makes us cookies. She'll do cupcakes. She's offered to make macaroons. So, it's just bringing another level to the open house, another level of experience. But now we're widening that pool of who are we getting the information in front of, because a realtor's audience, my audience, and a baker's audience may be very different. But within those audiences, there's somebody that's looking to buy, there's somebody that's looking to sell, there's somebody that's looking for a new realtor. And then I decided to take it a step further, and I said, okay, what else makes sense for this? And I invited a wonderful individual as well, who is a person who claims introvertedness and is looking to kind of get out there more. And I said, you know what, let me give her this opportunity. And I said, hey girl, this is what I'm doing. How do you think you can fit in from this? She's like, well, home insurance, duh. I'm like, okay, great. Let's roll with it. Let's make it, let's see how it works. And my very first one that we did, was actually with you, Thalia, because the very first one we had scheduled, I wasn't in town for, so I kind of just made it work. But the first one that got booked for where I was on was with you, and she showed up to the open house with me, and she's like, oh, by the way, and like whips out this paper, and I'm like, oh my God, that is genius. So, you know, just really being able to just put different pieces of just building on that experience for potential home buyers, as well as being able to get, you know, open houses in front of a wider audience for real estate agents was really my goal. So it's been going great, so I'm excited.
Oh my goodness, I absolutely love this conversation. This definitely cannot be the first or the last time that you come on and share just those nuggets of information from such an organic perspective, because you are in the trenches providing a valuable service to real estate practitioners, right? And you bring that fresh, organic perspective that's so authentic. But I love the way that you are packaging what you do for the real estate community. And at the end of the day, you know, the part that I love the most about what you're sharing is you are unbiased. You know, you are unbiased, and you're just basically letting your gifts flow. Like, I can feel your gifts flowing, you know, whenever you say what you do and how you do it, I'm like, yep, that's her, you know, and that's making you unique. And a lot of times, and I want to tell everyone this, listen, if you're doing what Marissa just talked about, I mean, I call it the golden hour, Sunday evenings, 7:30 to 8:30 or 8:30 to 9:30 or 9:30. You got to find a golden hour on your Sunday, and you got to shut off the Netflix because they're making money, you're not. You got to turn off the TikTok because they're making money, you're not. And prepare your week ahead of time and be intentional about it and be premeditated about it. And it only takes, you know, 30 minutes, an hour, but then you're going to start your week off. And I'm sure, Maritza, you and I have had conversations that talk about, you know, the consistency and the level of commitment that we need, and pushing through, not wanting to do something when we know we have to do it, and pushing through the rut, and pushing through, you know, the pain points that of boredom. Because you know where the secret for success in this market is? Doing the boring stuff, the stuff that is boring. And that's why your circle of relationships and your circle of connections is so important, because if you need to jump on a Zoom call with other people that are on the phone calling, go find that Zoom call, go find that community, because you have to get out of the box, break the box, and build a new box. That's the secret to this market. I don't care if you're selling lollipops, shoes, Band-Aids, rubber bands, or real estate. Everybody has to be out there building community. So I'm super proud of you, Marissa. You know, you are my running mate when it comes to events and things that we've done in the past, Vision Builders, which we're doing another one coming up soon. And, you know, I just commend you. I commend you for you know, being that light, that guiding light for so many others. And I know the best is yet to come for you.
Thank you. Thank you. You know, and if there's anything that I leave like the viewers with, because like you said, it's doing that work, doing the boring stuff. One thing that one of mine is in the solar space told me, create the ultimate thing you're trying to accomplish. First, probably selling a home, right? And then reverse engineer it. What are 3 categories it's going to take for you to be able to get to that ultimate goal? And within those 3 categories, what are action steps that you can take? And then in each of those categories, pick a minimum of 2 items that, regardless of how you feel, even if you're coughing away, that you are going to do, because at least you're putting some type of work into your business at a bare minimum level. Sometimes people just choose not to do when that's the worst thing that we can do for our businesses. But I definitely want to say thank you to the both of you for having me. Such a in my life since me and Lucy connected over our sparkly nails.
Yes, yes, we're super excited. Thank you so much, Marissa, for joining us. Thank you for joining us. And guys, we will see you on the next episode of Agents in the Trenches, the real life stories of the struggles, that agents are going through. And there's no shame in the game. So if you want to raise your hand and say, hey, I want to come on and I want to share one of my struggles and I've got some pointers, I've got some tips, or if you want to raise your hand and say, listen, I want to be part of the circle that you guys are creating through mentorship, through joint ventures with other agents, raise your hand, reach out to Talia. Talia, where can they connect with you?
Yes, I'm going to drop my number below. You can text me or call me. But of course, you can follow me on Facebook so we can chat as well.
All right, guys, enjoy your weekend. See you guys on Monday in another Agents in the Trenches. Let's go.